Hello students, this is Miss Mishu here with your first financial literacy lesson. Objectives of this lesson are: you should be able to define personal finance, list the 6 components of personal finance, list the 6 steps of the financial planning process, list life events that may require someone to revise their financial plan, define short-term, intermediate-term, and long-term goals, and create a spreadsheet outlining personal goals. Here's some vocabulary that you will encounter during this lesson. Decisions regarding how much money to retain in a liquid form and how to allocate the funds among short-term investments is money management. What you own are assets. To distribute resources or duties for a particular purpose is allocate. Uncertainty surrounding the potential return on an investment is risk. The process of planning your spending, financing, and investing to optimize your financial situation is personal finance. Decisions regarding how much credit to obtain to support your spending and which source of credit to use is credit management. The value of what you own minus the value of what you owe is your net worth. Determining the types and amounts of insurance needed to protect your assets, insurance planning. Determining how much money you should set aside each year for retirement and how you should invest those funds is retirement planning. A goal that can be achieved within 1 year is a short-term goal. Determining how your wealth will be distributed before or upon your death is estate planning. Access to funds to cover any short-term cash deficiencies is liquidity. A plan that specifies your financial goals and describes the spending, financing, and investing plans that are intended to achieve those goals. Personal financial plan. A goal that can be achieved between 1 and 5 years. Intermediate goal. What you give up as a result of a decision. Opportunity cost. The process of forecasting future expenses and savings is budget planning. What you owe, your debts, liabilities. A goal that can be achieved beyond 5 years, long-term goal. What is personal finance? It is the process of planning your spending, investing, and financing to optimize your financial situation. There are 6 primary components of a financial plan: budgeting and tax planning, managing your liquidity, financing your large purchases, protecting your assets and income, investing your money, and planning your retirement and estate. The 6 steps of the financial planning process are: 1. Establish your financial goals. This is something you will do in this first lesson. 2. Consider your financial position. 3. Identify and evaluate alternative plans that could achieve your goals. Step 4. Select and implement the best plan for achieving your goals. 5. Evaluate your financial plan. And 6. Revise your financial plan. Let's consider this situation. Stephanie Spratt graduated from college last year with a degree in marketing. After job searching for several months, she was hired by a sales department of an advertising firm at an annual salary of $38,000. She is eager to have money from her salary to spend and to give up her interim part-time job waiting tables. Stephanie plans to save a portion of every paycheck so she can invest money to build her wealth over time. She realizes that by establishing a financial plan To limit her spending today, she can increase her wealth and therefore her potential spending in the future. At this point, Stephanie decides to develop an overview of her current financial position, establish her goals, and go through the entire financial planning process, the 6 steps. So let's take a look at her financial plan. At the very top here, you'll notice her financial goals. Buy a new car within a year, buy a home within 2 years, make investments that will allow wealth to grow over time, and build a large amount of savings for retirement in 20 to 40 years. Step 2, current financial position. Stephanie states, I have very little savings at this time and own an old car. My income, which is about $30,000 a year after taxes, should increase over time. Step 3, plans to achieve the goal. Since my current financial position does not provide me with sufficient funds to achieve these financial goals, I need to develop a financial plan for achieving these goals. I want to save enough money to make a down payment on the car and home and to obtain financing to cover the rest of the cost. This plan allows me to allocate some of my income toward investments. My financing decisions will determine the type of car and home that I will purchase and the amount of funds I will have left to make other investments so that I can build my wealth over time. Step 4, selecting and implementing the best plan. Financing the purchase of a car and a home is a more appropriate plan for me. I will prepare a budget so that over time I can accumulate savings that will be used to make a down payment on a new car. Then I will attempt to accumulate savings to make a down payment on a new home. I need to make sure that I can afford financing payments on any money that I borrow. Step 5, evaluating the plan. Once I establish a budget, I will monitor it over time to determine whether I am achieving the desired amount of savings each month. And step 6, revising the plan. If I cannot save as much money as I desire, I may have to delay my plans for purchasing a car and a home until I can accumulate enough funds to make the down payments. If I am able to exceed my savings goal, I may be able to purchase the car and a home sooner than I had originally expected. There are many events that may require you to revise your financial plan. Marriage, divorce, you lose your job, get promoted or demoted, you have children, you go to college, if there's a natural disaster, or if you win the lottery. Okay, so goals can be divided into 3 different categories. The essential question is, what are my short-term, intermediate-term, and long-term goals? Here are some examples. Short-term is less than a year, intermediate 1 to 5, long-term beyond 5. So you might want to start thinking about what goals, financial goals you have in these 3 categories, because you will create a spreadsheet that looks like this. So next I will go over that spreadsheet with you and let you know how to create it. So I'm in Google Sheets right now, and as you know, a spreadsheet consists of columns and rows. Columns are vertical arrangements of information, A, B, C, D, and so forth. Rows are horizontal, 1, 2, 3. A cell is the intersection of the 2. So this is cell A1, A2, and so forth. In this particular spreadsheet, you'll notice that there's a long row here that spans across multiple columns. And so to make it span, across that way, you need to merge it. So what you need to do is you'll highlight from A to G, and then go to Format, Merge Cells, Merge Horizontally, and that will bring all of those together. And then you can center up here, and you just center your title. Another thing you may need to be able to do is to widen or shorten columns. So you do that up here between the column letters. Okay, notice that this is merged, so B and C you highlight. You go to Format, Merge Cells, Merge Horizontally. To create currency, what you can do is, if you know you're going to have dollars and cents, click on the column letter. That highlights the entire column, and then format it as currency. We will do totals for each of the categories once you decide what it is that you want. By the way, once you do, if you have a car that you want to buy or a watch, I'd like you to take a picture, a screenshot, and insert that in to your document with the price, if at all possible. So if you can get the price of it, please do so. To insert the image, you can't just click and drag. You've got to go to Insert, down to Image, and then choose the image. It usually goes onto the desktop if you take a screenshot on these computers at the school. So anyways, here we're going to total up C4, C5, and C6 using a formula. So all spreadsheet formulas begin with equal. So we'll type equal sum, left parenthesis, C4 colon C6, right parenthesis. And what that's going to do is add those cells together. That's called a range. C4 to C6 is a range because they're side by side and close together. Okay. Even though you don't have anything in this particular cell, you do want to include it because you may change your mind and want to add something. Okay, so what do you suppose the formula would be here for your intermediate costs? Every formula begins with equals sum. We're in column E now, so E4 colon E6. Right parenthesis, and you hit enter. Oops, and that should be centered. Okay, and then come over here, formula in this cell equals sum G4, G6. Good. We want grid lines, so to create these little lines here that separate the rows and columns, it makes it easier to read. To do that, you just highlight your area, come along this menu here and choose all borders. And then we do want to make sure that the font size is size 14, so you want to highlight, change it all to the same type. There we go, that changed there, that's good. You want to add a splash of color to make things look a little bit better. So all your short-term goals are the same color. You highlight the little paint can here, and you could change to a color. Notice these are centered. Bold is up here. These are bold and italics, item and cost. So you want to think about what your short-term goals are within 1 year. What do you want within a year? Intermediate terms 1 to 5. years, and then